6 Cleveland Avenue West in lovely Champion, Ohio. Family-owned business full of interesting characters. When I moved home from Texas without a job or a dime to my name, Joey gave me a job and helped me where I needed it the most. So when Joey calls, I answer. I don't know what the truck is exactly, but today we'll be doing a CP3 and a common rail. I'll have more info when I get there. We generally keep the shop pretty loud, so probably won't be a lot of talking, a lot of subtitles, but CP3 is simple enough. I could probably get away with it. So let's do it. Alright, I got some more info. Also, after 10 years seniority, I still work outside. Anyway, we have 3rd gen common rail. Story I have is a new local shop has put new pistons in it, and the truck won't run. So the customer brought it here thinking it was an injection pump, but it's building line pressure. So we're going to look at this thing. This is going to be an episode for the younger kids. I'm going to show you where to start. And so far, after having the hood open for 9 seconds, we're going to start here. You'll be amazed in these trucks, especially your 98.5 to 01 VP trucks, how important battery terminals are. So let's clean this thing up, get a battery box on it, and see what the scanner says. Well, we're inside now. Sweet. Not really. While the batteries are charging, we're going to hook to a scanner. Any scanner will do. All we're trying to establish is that the ECM has power. If it does not, the scanner won't be able to find it. So let's see what it says. ECM has power. If you're getting codes, your ECM's reading. So we're going to let these batteries charge and see what it's trying to do. When you go to diesel school, they teach you a theory about diagnosing. And it's very important in your career. It's called, fuck it, let's try it. Discuss this because I see this more often than not. Everyone's first big job on their truck is the injectors. Any VP or CP3 Cummins, you have your injector, and here is your what they call a crossover tube that threads into the head here, and then your fuel rail has a line that you watch me just take off. Will feed this crossover tube and go into your injector. Okay, well, it'll make more sense when I take it out. You have to take this out before you pull the injectors out. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen guys pull these bolts out and start ripping on this injector and I wonder why it can't come out. Tube has to come out first. 15/16 nut, Unthread it, pull the end off, and then this should come out with relative ease. Do not wreck these threads. Eat my nuts. Well, kids, we're both going to learn something today. I know we missed a little bit there, just trying to diagnose a little too quickly. Ended up pulling the truck inside. It would crank, but it sounded like it was hydrolocking. It was just real not smooth, and it would fire for a second and then quit, which for a common rail is bizarre. So I pulled fuel train out, and number 4 is most icky. For a truck that apparently has never fired since new pistons, that's not good. We'll find out why here shortly. Well, we contacted the owner and discussed what he wanted to do. That particular buildup on that injector is something we've never seen before, especially on a motor that's supposedly never been fired since a rebuild. The guy that did the work at another shop has proven to be a problem as of lately, so we really don't know what to trust. Per the customer's request, we are going to replace that number 4 injector with a known good one off our shelf, and just to make sure it's not hung up. The owner says that the nozzles were replaced with nozzles he bought off Amazon, which I shouldn't have to tell you is not a good idea. And he is convinced that the body of his injectors are good, but the truck's got 250,000 miles on it. Common rail injectors, usually rule of thumb is 150,000. So we're gonna put it back together with a good injector and see what it does tomorrow. I have to go to the day job now. Moral of my story here is when you take on a project like this, especially one that someone's already had their hands in, get as much info as you can, because it will save you a lot of headache in the long run. But we will see you tomorrow, and we'll let you know how it goes.
Done with it.
We are going to end this video with a Tim McAmis style rant. If you don't know who that is, for the love of God, quit watching football, be somebody, do something with your life, and go support a local racetrack. I will not be bashing the owner of this truck for the simple reason I don't know who it is. I don't even know his name. He could have bought this truck 3 days ago, as is. I have no idea. Not his fault. All I'm doing is, from my stance, this is what I see of this truck and the history it's had, and it is a very, very valuable lesson for up-and-coming mechanics or people getting into their first diesel, because this concept is grossly done, and it needs to be addressed. At some point, this truck needed injectors. I know, that price is scary, isn't it? You don't like that. Nobody does. So, what'd you do? You went to Amazon.com and found these, and like, yeah, that'll fix my problem. You slam those in there, and it might have bought you a day, it might have bought you a week, it might have made the truck run good for 6 months. Who's to know? But eventually, it quit again, didn't it? In this particular truck, it melted all the pistons in it. So this is where, I don't know if you want to call it cheaping out or didn't have the money to do it or what you want to call it, but this is where this chain's going to start. So you're going to take your truck that is now out of commission. You're going to tow it to another shop. You're going to pay him shop rate to diagnose what it is, which in this case probably took a while because I more than likely the head ended up coming off of the truck. So he's going to quote you for 6 new pistons. And mind you, for this list, I'm going to use aftermarket and be generous. 6 new pistons, an upper gasket kit, a lower gasket kit, I hope rod bearings, and in this particular case, talked him into a set of head studs. And I'm just going to guess he probably charged him 20 to 25 hours of shop rate, which will put you at this number. And then now your truck still doesn't run. So now on top of that, you're going to tow it to me. I have 6 hours at shop rate into diagnosing someone's shoddy work to tell you you still need 6 injectors. So ask yourself this: is this number scarier than this number? Because now you can combine it because you didn't want to take that initial step. Well, I hope my point's across. When your truck needs injectors, buy complete injectors. New or reman. Reman is fine. No matter where you get them, make sure they are Bosch reman injectors, period. If the body of the injector does not have the Bosch emblem on it, do not buy them. If you bring me those injectors, I will not put them in. Because when those come apart, melt down, and take out 6 of your pistons, you're going to come back to me and say, oh, well, warranty, you did the work, now my truck's junk. And then you know what happens? I tell you no, because I told you not to use these injectors, so what are you going to do? You're going to go on social media and smash my name and my reputation because I didn't want to deal with the shit parts you brought to me. And I'll let you know, if once I tell you no, if you go to Joey McFalls and say, hey, I want to put these junk Amazon nozzles in my truck, will you do them for me? He's going to laugh and hang up the phone. I see it 5 times a week. Keep that in mind. I'm sorry, guys, this business is pay to play. That's all there is to it. I'm as humble as they come. You guys see me on this video work. I work 14, 16 hours a day just so I can play with my toys. You can't half-ass this shit. I beg of you, as a mechanic and as an enthusiast of this sport, if you're going to half-ass this shit, just don't. Go buy an LS motor. Leave us alone, please. Minus my ranting there. What you need to keep in mind here is what anyone else would have done in the situation once the truck didn't fire and you heard it had bottom end work done. Any other shop would have pulled it apart. And this guy would have been eating all that labor I listed off again. But stop, wait a night, think it over. Do the little things first, and if those don't fix it, start digging into it. Just don't jump to conclusions. Troubleshooting is massive. And as we get into the first gen and into the Tahoe, especially the first gen, it's going to be fun. I'll show you where to start. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.